Hey everyone, how many times have you heard the terminology election interference used by those in the established media? Well, if you're paying attention to the politics and the media landscape in this country, well, it's profound and it's been quite a few times. Basically, on a regular and continuing ongoing basis. In particular, they love to use that as rhetoric to suggest that's how Trump come to power. And even more subtly, in terms of the UK Brexit vote. I mean, that's the thing. These people that are on the left side of the political spectrum, these authoritarian collectivists, yeah, obviously they don't like to lose. And why? They've had a lot of power, a lot of entrenched power for a long time. And a lot of things have gone their way, seemingly for decades. So I suppose it shocks their senses and their sensibility to see that now their position of authority or power is being challenged. And they're lashing out at anyone that dares to do so. And the rhetoric that they like to use is not that, yeah, we just plain ass lost because we suck in comparison to our opponents or our counterparts. No, they don't want to admit failure based on anything they've done wrong. No, once again, like I say, these authoritarian collectivists, these are people that don't know how to do any self-reflection, as we're seeing time and time again. No, the rhetoric they've been using is the reason why Brexit happened or the reason why Trump happened was because of some, foreign interference or collusion. Ooh, the Russian scare, the big red scare, ooh, Vladimir Putin. The only reason why Trump's in power is because Vladimir Putin and his Russian lackeys that made it happen, right? What? The disinformation tweeters or Facebook posters, right? That's the rhetoric. I mean, you've heard it. That's the rhetoric they've used. Is foreign collusion or foreign interference has affected our democracy and upended the democratic process in some way. Yet when the political interference comes from someone that they agree or align with, those who represent the ruling establishment or the media establishment in this country, well, apparently mum's the word, and all is well. Look the other way, don't look here, and don't make no spectacle of it. Pay no attention, pay no mind. It's no big deal, right? What am I referencing? Headline of the National Post, Kelly McParland. Now who's interfering in an election? And the Liberals don't seem at all concerned. Once again, as voters ponder how to mark their ballots, we've had it made clear that there's one set of rules for other people and another for Justin Trudeau. It's been reported by Kelly McParland, October 16th, 2019. If Vladimir Putin were on speaking terms with Chrystia Freeland, the Russian president might be on the phone to Ottawa now requesting a clarification. For the past 3 years, Putin has been the object of regular denunciation for alleged attempts to influence the results of the 2016 presidential campaign. Special counsel Robert Mueller dug deep into suspected dirty tricks originating in Moscow, said to have been aimed at undermining former Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton's run for the White House. More recently, Democrats have launched an impeachment drive based on charges President Donald Trump sought to pressure Ukraine's president into providing some dirt on Joe Biden, his potential opponent in the 2020 election race. Both scandals derive from the well-founded belief that it is wholly inappropriate for a prominent foreign political figure to intrude on the domestic affairs of another country, especially a democratic election in which power is at stake. Except, it appears, if it's Canada and you happen to be Justin Trudeau. Once again, as voters ponder how to mark their ballots come Monday's election, we've had it made clear that there's one set of rules for other people and another for Justin Trudeau. Former President Barack Obama is not nearly as distasteful a person as the President of Russia, but he was engaged in a much more open case of intrusion when he urged Canadian voters Wednesday to vote for the Liberal leader over other candidates. "I was proud to work with Justin Trudeau as president," he tweeted. "He's a hard-working, effective leader who takes on big issues like climate change. The world needs his progressive leadership now, and I hope our neighbors to the north support him for another term." So think about that. I mean, before we even get to the election interference and the fact that, a former president and one freshly off the former part of the president, I mean, Barack Obama was the most recent president for 2 terms. I mean, come on, he's barely been out of office for nothing more than, a couple years now? And he's already out there doing his own political interference in Canada's election by endorsing Justin Trudeau. I mean, come on, if Trump endorsed Maxime Bernier or Scheer or anyone else, you know the way the media would be portraying that. Pure election interference. But no, the way most of the media is representing that today is, it's just, hey, they're just two progressive guys, and they became very friends and cozy with each other. Hey, there's nothing to see here. Look the other way. Pay no attention. Pay no mind. The blatant hypocrisy, it's on a level that no wonder so many Canadians, and not just Canadians, but people all over the Western world, are disenfranchised with the ruling establishment. I mean, they don't even try to hide their biases, their ideologies, or the particular form of authoritarian collectivism anymore. They just recognize that there's a lot of people that align with them, and they just go with it, and hope that sticks with enough people that they get to retain their power. But I mean, like I say, in addition to the fact that it's obviously something that the left would be totally against if it was happening on the other side of the political aisle, but they seem more than comfortable with because they recognize it might benefit in some way. As if that's not bad enough, the fact that Barack Obama, U.S.'s first black president, is endorsing Justin Trudeau, Canada's first prime minister, that has been proven to don blackface on multiple occasions. I mean, God. I mean that alone, like that says so much to me. Matter of fact, I'm still trying to compute all that in my mind. It's going to take a little while to dissolve and go through all that kind of nonsense and contradictory messaging. Like Barack Obama, like I say, had to go through and fight against those evil white people. But meanwhile, a lot of those white people in the U.S. were the ones that put Barack Obama in power. But once again, it's always painted today, and you hear it all the time, the way the media portrays, or the ruling establishment portrays, bad white people, right? Yet Canada's top white dude, in terms of politics anyways, right? Justin Trudeau, he is the one that's shown to be, well, according to what everyone else says, those people that would align with Barack Obama, or those progressives, those people on the left side, hey, donning blackface, that's racist. Well, it would be if anyone else did it, right? That's super racist. That's terribly racist. If it's Andrew Scheer or Maxime Bernier, or like I say, anyone challenging the status quo or the establishment, well, you know how they'd be portrayed or presented. Or it'd be nothing but, look at them. They're just nothing but a bunch of racists. They're evil. They hate black people. Yet Justin Trudeau does the exact same thing. And for doing so, because they share the same ideology, aka authoritarian collectivism, or so-called progressivism, Barack Obama gives them a free pass. And not just a free pass, didn't just remain neutral, but endorses the guy. Barack Obama is endorsing Canada's blackface. Think about that in 2019 and ask yourself, how far have things fallen in the political realm in terms of morals, ethics, or principles? Speaking at a campaign stop in St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, Trudeau said of the endorsement, "I appreciate the kind words and I'm working hard to keep our progress going." He declined to answer whether he asked Obama for his backing. That's actually a good question. And I can't help but think, that may very well be the case. Sounds like something Trudeau, or at least one of his team members, would do, right? Obama and Trudeau developed a warm relationship during the brief period their mandates overlapped. Very, very brief. I mean, come on. Trump come to power in 2016 and Trudeau come to power in 2015, and there was, very, very tiny overlap. I mean, few months? Oh, boy, they weren't long cozying up to each other. Based on what? I would ask. What? What was it? Oh, right. Never mind. They're ideologues and are said to have stayed in touch since. So both parties might be inclined to suggest this is just one politics guy expressing his appreciation of another politics guy. If it just happens to have landed 5 days before the culmination of a campaign in which Canada's politics guy is fighting for his survival, so what? Trudeau conceded Wednesday he could go down to defeat at the hands of the Conservatives. So what could be better than a boost from a popular U.S. politician? Anyways, folks, I'll place a link to this article in the description of the video below. But once again, this is actually a perfect, clear-cut, and concise example of genuine political interference. But once again, most of the people in the media, now Kelly's covering it, but this is in a National Post. Watch and see how this particular story, how this particular incident is being covered by most of the hacks in the establishment media in this country. And you'll hear that it'll be constantly, it's no big deal, not a big problem. It's just, Hey, Obama, he's such a great guy. Of course he's going to endorse Trudeau. Nothing to see here. Look the other way, folks. No big deal. But like I say, reverse that scenario where it was Donald Trump endorsing a conservative candidate in this country. And ask yourself, how would the same media pundits or proponents be covering that particular story? See the bias? See the divide? See the glaring hypocrisy? This is just one of many examples. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.